Good morning. Harold Richman has been a phenomenal leader in the field of international child welfare, and we are excited to have this opportunity to honor Dr. Richman for his many contributions to the field. Dr. Richman is the Hermon Dunlap Smith Professor of Social Welfare Policy Emeritus in the University of Chicago Center for Children here at the university. Chapin Hall Center, established at the university in 1985, is an independent center dedicated to research and development on domestic and international policies, programs, and practices affecting children, families, and the communities they live in. Mr. Richman has been on the faculty of the university since 1967. He served here at SSA as a dean from 1969 to 1978, and he was the founding chairman of the university's Public Policy Studies program from 1974 to 77. He received the university's Quantrill Award for Excellence in Teaching in 1990. Dr. Richman is a leading figure in children's policy and research in the United States, sitting on the boards of key organizations concerned with children. In the mid-1990s, Dr. Richman deliberately expanded the interests of Chapin Hall to include the condition of children in other countries. Chapin Hall began its international program in children's policy research in 1996. The program began by working with a small group of researchers abroad to establish and enhance the capacity of research centers dedicated to children's policy research, and by managing an international fellowship program. Initially, this work was conducted in Israel, with a subsequent project in Jordan. Work with a few research centers led to the awareness of others that share Chapin Hall's mission. As relationships with each of these centers were developed, interaction among them has also grown, leading to an evolving international children policies research network, coordinated by Chapin Hall, with participating centers in South Africa, Ireland, England, Northern Ireland, Norway, Spain, and Israel. In addition, under Dr. Richman's guidance, Chapin Hall has become an active member of Child Watch International, a collaboration of 46 children's research centers in 35 countries funded by the Norwegian government to promote children's rights and children's well-being around the world, with a special emphasis on exchanges between Southern Tier and Northern Tier countries. Dr. Richman is on the boards of the Children's Institute at the University of Cape Town in Cape Town, South Africa, the Information and Research Center of the King Hussein Foundation in Amman, Jordan, and the Brookdale Center on Children, Youth in Jerusalem, Israel. And we would like to invite Dr. Richman here to the front to join us. As students committed to international social welfare, we are inspired by your dedication to international child welfare and your continuing work in the field. Your compassion and commitment towards youth and the global issues they face is evident in your extensive involvement in international research institutions. We are privileged to have you with us this morning, and would like to present you with a gift as a symbol of our appreciation for your contribution to international child welfare. Last year, the International Social Welfare Group raised enough funds to send an SSA student, Liz Baumgards, on an international internship. Liz spent her summer in Bolivia working with youth, and we'd like to invite Liz forward to present Dr. Richman with a photograph of the children that she worked with during her internship.
What a gorgeous picture. Thank you very much. I don't want to stand between you and Irani Razini, whose talk you've really come to hear. But I do want to just say a couple of things related to the international work, because when I was here, both on the faculty and as dean, it never entered our mind that that was something we should think about. I did this international work starting in the early 90s because a very rich man who was anonymous thought it was a supporter of Chapin Hall and thought that the idea behind Chapin Hall was one that could be helpfully brought to other countries. And the idea is simple, and that is policy is better when it is based on good data and good analysis. A very simple idea, a very hard idea to implement in the hurly-burly of politics and policy making. He thought that it would be a good idea to see if it was possible to replicate an institution, not Chapin Hall, but replicate an institution that was founded on this idea. And that led to the establishment of 7 centers around the world, and I had the real privilege of going off to these places and spending his money. The thing that I learned in this process, and it's why I so admire what you're up to, because the learning in this kind of work is truly phenomenal and has to greatly improve your own practice and your own outlook. The learning that I got out of this was the power of ideas. Now, Chapin Hall was dedicated to the power of ideas, but what I saw in working in these different countries was the power of one idea, and that is the idea that was explicated in the UN Convention on the Child. A convention which almost every country in the world except the United States has ratified. And the idea was that children have rights and children deserve a nurturing, caring family and society. In some places, that's a pretty revolutionary idea. But to see one idea like that spread around the world and to see it animate serious planning, serious service provision, is to truly understand, I think, how one can work internationally if one is really committed to an idea, committed to either practice or policy or both, and where the idea has salience in lots of places besides your own country. So I want to thank you for this marvelous picture and the honor that goes with it, and to say the best thing for me about this morning is to see so many of you here and thinking on international terms, because you can only be better for it, and surely the world will be better for it too. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.